Okay, let's talk to the money man now. It's Friday. That means Q&A. It's one of my favorite days, one of my favorite things we do. Lhfg Financial Services. Good morning, my friend. Roll Tide.
Good morning, Steve and JG. How are y'all this morning?
We're doing really well, man. Everybody's got a little extra pep in their step, I guess, because it's this 3-day weekend and everybody ready to go, you know?
Yeah, that's right. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful weekend, hopefully we'll have. And I guess everybody will see JG down on Moundville beaches down there, huh?
Don't start telling people my secrets.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They sure will. Okay.
Her and what is it?
Big Willie. Yeah.
Big Willie.
Luke Combs lookalike from Moundville. We have a couple of, actually 3 questions this morning for you that have come to us. Folks, tap that app, 95.3 The Bear, clicked on chat, and want us to ask you. They are listening right now. First one comes from listener Dalton, who says, Lance Hokut, how much do I need for retirement? And what do you base that on? That's a fair question.
Guys, there's a general rule of thumb. I'm not sure we like that, but just as a general, because we're talking to a lot of people out there, there's some ideas that you say 10 times your annual earnings is what you need to have. I'm going to take that a little bit different and say the people that I see who are the happiest at retirement, the ones who are satisfied, they're not worrying about stuff, they're at peace with it, are the ones who have little to zero what?
Mm-hmm.
Debt.
The least amount of debt going into it. So if you're sitting there going into retirement and you got a brand new house you're sitting there paying for, yes, you're going to have a huge pile of money to help pay for that. If you look at Social Security, it may be there. For all of us, I don't know. It may not, especially when you look at the younger generations who may not be putting in as much. So if you take that into consideration, the pile can be much smaller if we go into it with less debt.
Good answer. Dalton, I hope you're listening and got that. Very, very good, solid advice. Tony has jumped on the app and says, should I pay off my credit card bills in full each month or just put a little something on it?
So going back, what's our first foundation? Our first foundation is cash, right? So if we have that first foundation as cash, we should be able to do that regularly. A lot of people are using points now. That's how the credit card companies are encouraging you to use their products. So as long as you're using it for the points and getting something out of it, then I'm okay with that. But if you're living off of that cash, use that credit card as you travel because it's less likely you'll get hacked. And even if you do, they're not going to tap into your debit account and things like that. So, yes, let's get rid of that on a regular basis.
Now, this last question came in late, and it's just a fantastic question. Listener Lorraine, Lance Hokut, says, my husband and I are debt-free, and she says, yes, we have an emergency fund. We're getting almost $4,000 back in taxes this year. She says, we've never in our lives invested in the stock market. What's a good start?
Well, that's a great question, and it tells me people are listening, Steve and JG. Her question said, or her statement was, hey, we have little debt, and we have what? That cash reserve. I'm so proud of that.
Got the awesome. Emergency fund, and she says they're debt-free. That's a good position to be in.
So a great place to consider first is looking at some type of IRA, if they're capable, whether it's a traditional or a Roth. I like the Roth. Remember, we've talked about that. It grows tax-free as you put that money in. So we're helping both save some money, but we're also keeping Uncle Sam out of our pocketbook whenever we decide we need that money. So depending on their circumstance, then yes, I think a Roth or a traditional would be a great start. Obviously, I want them to fund and fully fund their 401ks at the max before they even start doing that. The problem with getting that refund, you can't backfill that in. So let's make sure they're filling that 401k up, but also a Roth is a great start. A traditional is a great start. You can do it. If you're 50 or less, you can do 6,000 this year. If you're 50 or more, you can do 6,500. And it's a great tool for you to be able to do that.
It really is. Wow. Good idea. And that's the kind of advice you get and the kind of guidance you get when you become a client with Lance Hokut Financial Services. And how do we do that, my friend?
So the Lance Hokut Financial Group, you can contact me at lance@lancehokut.com. Our phone number, 205-345-9733. Hey, also, I want to throw in, I talked to a good buddy, Justin Williams, earlier this morning. when an attorney calls your office and says, hey, I've got some documents for you, you kind of go cringe a little bit,
Yes.
but he's a good friend, and he had some of our old documents. But he is doing bankruptcy. We had a question a couple of weeks ago about bankruptcy. I trust Justin a lot. He's a great guy. Tanner and you in downtown, that firm's been there forever.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got a good referral for those guys. So talk to him if y'all need him. God bless y'all. Have a great weekend. Hey, JG, put some sunscreen on, girl.
Oh, I will.
Turn so you don't burn. Good advice. Financial and otherwise. Lance Hokut. If you want to email Lance, we can give you the address right now. It's lance@lancehokut.com. Lance@lancehokut.com. The Lance Hokut Financial Group. Hokut Financial.